Hey, Darrell. Thank you again for coming.
You're welcome. Good to see you, Colonel.
I want to talk to you very briefly about the city intern program and make sure that you and I are straight about how we're going to proceed. As we said in California, we're going to have 2 interns out in Orange County, and you'll fund one, and Comto will fund the other.
That's right. We're, obviously we're a multimodal transportation entity, so I think that from a sort of an excitement standpoint from the interns, we can offer anything from operations to maintenance to planning to construction, whatever we find the right person. But we're going to do 2 of them, and we're going to split the cost. I think it's a great partnership.
What you mentioned yesterday about the number of interns you have already. You want to talk about that very briefly?
Yeah, we've made a commitment to trying to develop youth just in general. So we currently have 42 interns. So we have about 1,500 employees, but we have 42 interns in our budget. And we pull them from local universities, and they're across the organization. So really anything from the transit operations all the way to marketing, technology, human resources, planning. So we spend a lot of time and effort on it, and we're looking forward to adding 2 more.
When we're out in California, we talked about this program not just looking for engineers, looking for any kind of skill set. Can you talk about the diversity in Orange County?
Orange County's changing, right? So we have been a very suburban environment for a number of years, but now when we look at it between Latino, Asian American, and African American, it's 60% of the population. Okay. And our elected officials, our board of directors, they're starting to more closely mirror that demographic, and our workforce is starting to mirror that. So I think this is a natural opportunity for us to participate.
Now, we've got the application online. I'll get it to you today, but the deadline is the 23rd of March.
Right.
And we'll work with Gwen Gray out in LA to make sure that you get it. But part of the interview process, my commitment is that we'll do it together.
I'm absolutely involved.
So
that'd be great.
We'll
do it together.
And you'll have chicken wings, and we'll make it work. But on the recruiting process, how many schools are in the area?
There's a ton, but I'll just highlight some of the big ones for you. We've got Cal State Fullerton is one of the biggest state universities by population in Southern California. Cal State Long Beach is right around the corner. We've got UC Irvine. We've got Chapman University, plus a number of smaller community colleges like Santa Ana College and Golden West. So a lot of students.
In the program itself, though, it's going to be 80% of what you want and 20% of Comto's stuff. So part of it is the mentoring. We take that seriously. So part of it is Gwen Gray will be a mentor, Bob Prince, Malinga, all Comto members. But you got to come to Boston and be part of the national conference.
It's Boston's a little far from Southern California, but we'll commit to being there.
Well, public transportation will get you there.
We'll be there. I think the mentoring part, Colonel, is important because we can bring an intern in and we can have them do filing. I think that's a waste of time. So what I want to do is make sure, just like we do with our own internship program, they get meaningful work. They get exposure to senior leaders within their operations division, their functional division, as well as the executive suite. And the idea of having mentors like yourself and Bob and Gwen, and I'll be right there to participate as well.
That's great. We measure our success by one intern at a time. And yesterday you met a young man, Howard, who was with me. I've been his mentor for about 12 years. And last night we were talking about you. And he said, Colonel, I just met Darrell today, and I think we struck gold.
Oh, that's very nice. The reason I'm where I'm at in my career is because people gave me a shot early on. I didn't have any predefined path to leadership in the transportation industry. Somebody believed in me. And there's a couple of people that I think about every day when I think about how did I get to this spot in my career. And so if I can do a little bit to help somebody else along, it's a real easy process for me to say yes to. I don't think about it much. I just jump right to yes, and let's figure out how we can make it work.
Yeah, your passion comes through, and I appreciate your sincerity and your being here. But lastly, when I was in Southern California, you made me feel special. You really did. And
Good.
I want to thank you. I want to thank Mike Malenfi for the introduction. But more importantly, I really want to make this partnership work for the long haul, not just for the summer, but I'm looking for a long-term relationship where you become part of what we do.
Well, I think being involved, we're first and foremost we're a public transit entity, but our involvement beyond those borders is important. Comto is one of those things. APTA is one of those things. Local chambers of commerce are one of those things. Local universities are one of those things. I think what you're asking us to do is sort of bring all that together.
Right.
It's a natural fit for us to participate. Not being involved sooner maybe was something we should have thought about, but when you came out in the fall and Michael put us together, for me it was real easy. I could see the value very quickly in terms of workforce development, youth development, and the future of the industry.
Yeah, even when you extend it to DOT with Secretary Fox and with Therese McMillan, even the federal highways portion, it all kind of comes together on what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about yesterday, I'm really excited that you get the partnership with the Federal Transit Administration. Oh, yeah. And as an entity like us that does highways, does streets, does roads, does rail, does transit, the idea that we can maybe expand in the future and do things like federal highway or the Federal Railroad Administration, where there's a different skill set there, maybe a different path, we can offer that, I think, today to the city interns.
You work very closely with Mr. Kent, I think.
Yes, yes.
Great. And what about Leslie Rogers? We both know Leslie.
Leslie's a good guy. He's our Region 9 administrator, and he, obviously we get a fair amount of funding from the FTA, but we also want, when we get that money, we want to make sure that we treat it with respect and we do what it's supposed to do. And Leslie and his team have been there for us every time we need them, and we've got a streetcar project coming up, and we're going to be hopefully seeing more of Leslie.
Over the past few years, Leslie has actually hosted interns in his office, so he's a big advocate.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he helps with the interviews, and he's Leslie. So, Leslie, thank you for what you do.
He's very supportive of transit in Orange County for us, and I'm not surprised to hear that he's hosted interns in his office.
Well, Darrell, again, thank you for your time. I know you got to roll, but I'll see you soon in Southern California.
All right.
Welcome to the City Internship
All right.
Program.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.